Stay tuned to hear about Cal State East Bay's ASI Diversity Center Black History event going on tonight.
Also catch a glimpse of the second annual Cultural Fashion Show. All this and more on Pioneer Web TV News, starting right now. Welcome to another edition of Pioneer Web TV News. I'm Candace Charles.
And I'm Cameron Wicks. African American people have shaped U.S. history throughout the span of 500 years. From the days of slavery to the March on Washington, we live the tragedies and triumphs that African Americans have experienced with the Diversity Center's timeline of Black history at the event, Our Histories of Struggle. This event will begin today at 4 p.m. in the ASI Diversity Center. Come show your support.
Jay Ingram, Moraga Recreation Director, and Cal State East Bay students from the Administration and Budgeting and Leisure class will be developing a master plan for the Moraga Commons Park. The park is a popular recreation area that offers multiple activities, including children's ziplining and skateboarding. The class of Moraga Park staff encourage others in the community and on the CSU EB campus to join in on the project. To find out more, please contact Assistant Professor Chris Chamberlain in the Arts and Education Building, room 368C.
What do students here at Cal State East Bay have to say about mental health in America? That's coming up next on Pioneer Web TV News.
Welcome back to Pioneer Web TV News.
There's a lot going on in sports, and our sports correspondent, Pioneer Pete, is here with the latest.
Louder, please. Sorry, man. I don't think this is going to work out. I'm sorry.
In honor of Black History Month this past Sunday, Cal State East Bay had held the second annual Cultural Celebration Fashion Show. From upcoming trends to special performances and eating the best soul food in town, our reporter Rashida Young has more on this event.
In honor of Black History Month, the Diversity Center held Cal State East Bay's second annual fashion gala. Come inside and let's take a look.
This event began at 4:00 p.m. and as students arrived to the multi-purpose room, they were welcomed with a live DJ. There were 3 live performances from students. The first performance was a spoken word piece, following a guitarist and stepping from the lovely ladies of Theta Lambda Psi. This event consisted of 5 designers. Deshaun Reynolds was the first to showcase his line called Dollar Sign. Reynolds, who has a background in dancing, incorporated dancing into his line. The director of this event, Tolulope Afalopi, and her partner Florence also presented their line, Fari Fixation.
Can you tell me a little bit about your line and what inspired your line?
Well, my line is created by myself and my cousin Florence. And basically what it is we're Nigerian, and oftentimes you see items from a culture represented by a culture that it doesn't belong to. And so we came up with the idea, like, why don't we as Africans represent our own clothing line and put something together for us, and that's fun, that people of various ages can come together and enjoy.
Paige Ball of 2525 Vintage and Modern in downtown Hayward was the last designer to showcase her styles in design.
What did you showcase at this event?
We did a lot of black and white mixed prints, the colored of the season and the year, emerald green, just a lot of fun, funky, a lot of 90s styles incorporated, and also some vintage pieces just to show they can still be in style.
I was very happy with the turnout of this event. It was very fun. Everyone got together, different races, for the cultural celebration to celebrate Black History Month.
As you can see, this event was a complete success. Rashida Young signing off for Pioneer Web TV.
Thank you, Rashida. There is so much talent here at Cal State East Bay. This was a creative way to honor Black History Month.
The American Disability Act protects those with mental illnesses from discrimination in the workplace and in school settings. Yet, according to the American Times, people with mental illnesses still find trouble stepping into the workforce. Reporter Armin Johnson spoke with students on campus to get their input on this pressing topic.
I am at Cal State East Bay's Hayward campus in front of the ASI Diversity Center asking students what they think about mental health in America.
I don't think that the government can really do anything about mental illness. I think that they should spread awareness, if anything, and get involved in some type of ad campaigns and get involved in different careers and put it out there what jobs do hire people with mental illnesses or what jobs do offer equal opportunities more so that people with mental illness have those options and those varieties to get out there and make something of themselves and not be held back by what they can't control.
The American Disabilities Act, also known as the ADA, was signed into law in 1990. It is the federal civil rights law protecting people with disabilities from discrimination.
It's not just outright discrimination what people think. It's almost like overt racism. It's like overt discrimination. They're trying so hard not to discriminate, they're actually discriminating by accident.
Students have a variety of opinions when it comes to mental health, but they all agree that something needs to change. This is Armand Johnson reporting from Pioneer Web TV, signing out.
Thank you, Armand. Students on campus seem to be very open-minded about hiring people with mental illnesses.
Was the men's basketball team able to get victory this weekend? Find out which team took home the W coming up after this break.
Hey, what's up, dog?
So,
Hey, you know, man, just got back from the gym, working out.
is that right?
Dog, you fat.
Yeah, I'm working on it.
When you don't read The Pioneer, you don't stay up to date on current issues. When you don't stay up to date on current issues, you have nothing to talk about with your friends. When you have nothing to talk about with your friends stop being your friends. When your friends stop being your friends, you get lonely. And when you get lonely, you create imaginary friends. Don't create imaginary friends. Read The Pioneer. A new issue comes out on every Thursday.
For the past 2 years, American peregrine falcons have resided atop Warren Hall. The falcons have lived on the 9th and 10th floor of the soon-to-be-demolished building. Since the falcons are a protected species under the California law held by the state's Fishing and Gaming Department, they have become an issue for project manager Christopher Wallace. With 2 weeks away from demolish day, Cal State East Bay called in a specialized biologist. In the beginning of January, sirens and stimulated bird calls were placed near the falcons' nesting place. Yet, the falcons have not left and have been lingering on the lower levels. Plans to continue the demolition process of Warren Hall are to commence immediately after the falcons have moved on. Reporter Maria Ruiz asked students what their thoughts are on demolition of Warren Hall.
I'm here in front of Warren Hall where the planning for the demolition is taking place. Warren Hall has been the university's logo ever since the building was constructed in 1969. It is suspected to be demolished sometime this year. Several students have expressed their concern.
I've been here for about 3 years in my CSUB, and no matter where I went in the Bay Area, Warren Hall was somehow symbolizing like a beacon of like scholastic achievement to me. I mean, whenever I went somewhere, whether it be San Francisco, Oakland, San Leandro, Warren Hall was just always in view, and I always knew that when I see Warren Hall, that's where home was.
It's a recognizable thing. You're driving and you automatically know that it's East Bay, so that's kind of sad.
Honestly, sometimes it can be an inconvenience, but I think it's a good thing. If it's an earthquake hazard and such, I think it's a good idea.
I hope it's not a big dusty mess. That's all I'm worried about.
Falcons moved into the building approximately 2 years ago when the building was first evacuated, and now they're being scared away.
Falcons are very territorial creatures, and since they're birds, they might as well go find another place to live.
We have a lot of wildlife on campus, but I mean, it's part of what makes our campus beautiful.
The date for the demolition has not been decided yet. It all depends on whether or not the Falcons will move. This is Maria Ruiz reporting for Pioneer Web TV.
Thanks, Maria. Let's hope the student community embraces the new changes that we made on this campus.
Both the men's and women's basketball teams claimed victory over the weekend. Reporter Andrew Rodriguez has more on the two basketball teams.
The men's and women's basketball teams spent the weekend on the road traveling to UC San Diego on Friday and matched up against Cal State San Bernardino on Saturday. The weekend turned out to be a SoCal sweep as the Pioneers went a perfect combined 4-0. The women's team continues to stay hot as they are in the midst of a 9-game winning streak. Their defense continues to be the staple of their success, holding San Diego to 44 points and San Bernardino to 39. In the Friday game, the Lady Pioneers clinched a CCAA playoff berth, beating the first-place Lady Tritons, snapping their own 9-game winning streak. Marlene Macmillan led the way with 14 points and 7 rebounds in the victory. In a narrow 42-39 victory over San Bernardino, their third nationally ranked defense proved to win the game to continue their winning streak. Tori Breschers came off the bench and ignited the Pioneers with 11 points and 6 rebounds in the win. The men's team pulled out impressive road wins. They dominated San Diego Friday night in a crushing 72-49 victory. 4 players scored double digits, but Ryan Hedbrand stood out with a career-high 17 points and 7 rebounds to add. They then went on to defeat second-place San Bernardino 82-72, riding that momentum from the night before. Hedbrand continued to have the hot hand, scoring 14 and tacking on another 7 rebounds. Jason Smith topped East Bay's 5 double-digit shooters with 18 points. The Pioneers are back in Pioneer Gym for the final 2 games of the regular season, Thursday and Friday night.
Thanks, Andrew. The men's baseball team was also victorious as they swept Cal State Stanislaus to extend their record to 11-4. Their next opponent is Sonoma State, who the Pioneers will travel to face next weekend. The Pioneer softball team both won 2 and lost 2 last weekend against Cal State Monterey Bay, who currently lead the standings. The Pioneers travel to Rohnert Park next week to face Sonoma State. Stay tuned next week for your Pioneer Sports Update. I'm Sebastian Babbage. Go Pioneers!
Cal State East Bay alumna Agnes Leong graduated in 2012 with a business administration degree. Today, she is now Miss San Francisco, a beauty of the nation. Agnes is here to discuss the pageant and how she became involved. Welcome, Agnes.
Welcome, hello.
Can you please tell us how you began in this pageant?
I began this pageant first. I competed in Miss Asian America, and then I competed in Miss San Francisco Beauties of the Nation, and now I'm the second princess and Miss Entrepreneur for Miss Vietnam of Northern California Intercollegiate.
And what inspired you to be in this pageant?
I inspired to be in this pageant because I want to honor my grandmother's last wish to be the change I want to see in this world. When I was 8, I moved to Germany and I was bullied due to my skin color and accent. So I want to fight against bullying with all of my heart and passion because I don't want anyone else to experience the same sadness and isolation that I have been through, and also to be a living proof and inspiration to others that we are all uniquely different, but that doesn't mean that we should be treated differently.
That's great.
Thank you.
I also heard that you started your clothing line. Congratulations on that. Can you
Thank
please
you.
tell us a little bit about your clothing line?
Yeah, so I'm starting simple first with just simple designs and patterns, but hopefully if people like my collection, I can transform it into a high fashion couture brand with more complex textured designs and patterns. And it will also focus on the true beauty of every woman's shapes and sizes, because I feel that most designers only focus on one particular body type, such as petite, small, or plus size, but my collection line will enhance every woman's beauty in all shapes and sizes.
Okay. And how has your business administration degree that you got here helped you with your clothing line and your career?
Yeah, I graduated with finance and marketing, and this has helped me to create a business plan as well as a 5-year strategic plan, which I have presented to several angel investors, and luckily some of them funded the capital to start my small collection line. And hopefully within the next 5 years, I can transform it into an international fashion brand.
Okay, and what is your next step?
My next step is that in July and August, I will compete in Miss California, and in this coming August, I will also compete in Miss Global, in which people can vote for me as well.
And where can you vote?
They can go to www.missglobal.com and then click on contestants, click on Indonesia, and then click on my name, Agnes, and then vote. And they can vote every 24 hours.
Thank you so much, Agnes, for coming in.
Thank you.
Pioneer Web TV News will be right back shortly.
Looking for a place to eat breakfast and lunch, or maybe just a cup of coffee? Look no further. Einstein's Brothers Bagels is here for you. Located between the CSUEB Administration Building and the North Science Building, Einstein's Brothers Bagels has everything you need. Here, you can find salads, sandwiches, specialty coffee, and of course, bagels. In addition to this variety of food, a very friendly staff is there to tend to your every need. Einstein's Brothers Bagels, a rare find on the CSUEB campus.
That concludes another edition of Pioneer Web TV News. I'm Cameron Wicks.
And I'm Candace Charles. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you here next week.